Hey everybody, it's Charisma with Garden Solutions, and I thought that today would be a good day to do a video of our backyard. So it's a couple of days after Earth Day, and also a couple of days after the new moon, and it's a really special time for new beginnings and a time to celebrate spring and the abundance that the earth gives us and preparing for summer. So while spring has not really taken off yet here on the Pacific Northwest where I am, we've had some good hot days, but we're still dropping down into the 40s at nighttime, and so we don't have a whole lot of flowers. I don't have any vegetables or fruit going on, but our backyard is mostly dedicated to veggies. So I just wanted to share what we have going on right now at the end of April, and then we'll share again when when things are growing more. So I'm here on my back porch, and we've got a couple of seed trays going on here. I think I'm gonna do this without my face in the video so you could see things. So here we have some flowers and more flowers. These are going to be for our fence line. I think we have marigolds in one and zinnias in the other. And then we have some herbs started in these containers down here, as well as using these containers, which are really full of water right now. Oh, I can't open it with one hand. Okay, there we go. So we've got some seeds happening in there. Those are also zinnias, and we have a few more zinnias in this one as well. So these are actually just little containers that had mini cupcakes in them, and if you know me, you know that I'm all about reusing and recycling what we have on hand. So here you could see a little bit of what's going on in there. We have cabbage on one side and kale on the other. Some of these are taking a little bit longer than others, just because that's the nature of them. They've only been in there maybe 10 days. Oh, there's a few in this one. Let's see. Oh, that one's the kale. Okay, so we've got cabbage and kale going, but the perilla and ashwagandha and amaranth and sweet william are still waiting to go. But so we have a fuchsia that overwintered. It looks really nice. I have a little lilac seedling from our lilacs that's about a year old. And so here is our backyard, and we just did this little section here, and it goes from basically it goes from our porch over to our garage, and this area gets really wet and soupy in the winter, so we're really excited to have these elevated pavers with mulch in between, which is going to kind of absorb some of that. And our maple has completely leafed out, so that looks really fun. She's going to get limbed up. She's a little outrageous this year. Kind of like our honeysuckle, which has already been trimmed twice since February, but she has a ton of buds, so we'll be getting flowers really soon. That's exciting. And then I've got my blueberries here. This one's gonna have to get moved to over here because the maple leafed out just so much. And then I wanted to show our new pathway. This pathway is made out of pallets, so totally free. And then we stain them so that they kind of match the garden ties that we made the fence line out of. And then I just these are landscape stakes. They rusted really fast, by the way, which I'm okay with because I kind of have this rustic cottage garden going on, but if that's something that's going to concern you, you might choose a different product. And then we did expand the bed. You could see where the original bed was on this wooden line here, and then I just expanded it out about 2 feet and maybe like 18 inches, and so that whole line now is potatoes. The ones that are closest to us, these ones here, are purple, or a royal purple potato, and the ones in the back are Yukon Gold. So we'll just keep going along here. I have some rhubarb, and then these are primroses. Every year I put primroses in our containers in the wintertime, and then we toss them in this garden, and they kind of get shaded by the rhubarb over the winter, and then or over the summer rather, and then they stay blooming pretty much all year long. I've always got some primroses in bloom, even when they're like kind of out of season. So, and then my columbine is doing amazing. Last year it got chowed down by a local rabbit that was running around free. So I'm really happy to see that it's going to bloom this year. So we'll just keep on walking down this way, down my new palette walkway, which I just adore. We have Oregon Sugar Snap Peas 2, or yeah, no, they're not Sugar Snap, they're Sugar Pod 2. I don't know what makes them 2, but that's what they are. And then you can see behind here, underneath the maple, I still have flowers on my hellebore, and it's, I mean, they're starting to fade, but they've been going since November, so that's okay. And then there's not a whole lot going on back here yet. We have some more peas, same variety. These are rain barrels. I don't know if you could tell here. Yeah, there you go. These are rain barrels that we cut in half lengthwise and put on frames. We have a few different heights. This one is about my knee, you can see, knee height, and then I have kind of waist height ones, and they've been doing fantastic. We've had them for 3 years, and I love them. And then I have some scabiosa coming up. These were in a few different pots when we moved into this property, and I just kind of started gathering them and putting them in this pot until I figure out exactly what we're going to do with them. And then this is a butterfly bush. It's this species. It's not a cultivar. It's just huge. We cut it down. I think we cut it down in January this year. And I will show you updates. You can see the window behind it and the roof line. I'll show you updates later on in the summer and show you just how huge and crazy it gets. And then this rosemary was also here on the property when we moved in here, and it pretty much all looked like that. And I've been doing rejuvenation cuts for the last 3 years, and now it's starting to like look really good, and I'll be able to take off that last one that's like huge and really woody on the bottom and have a beautiful specimen. This is a honeysuckle behind here, just kind of growing wild and crazy. This is a new thing that we're doing this year. We've put 4-inch pots in the slats of our pallet fence, and we're going to plant them with, right now those are wave petunias. We're going to have marigolds and probably some barcopa in the shades, and it just depends on where in the fence line it's running. We have some fingerling potatoes in this container, artichoke. In this bed I have the 2 artichokes, one's purple and one's green, and then I have my lemongrass that overwintered. I'm really excited about that. I had used a 2-liter bottle to give it kind of a greenhouse effect for about a month after it started coming back up out of the mulch, but over winter I put about 8 inches, 10 inches of straw over it, and it protected it well enough to keep it alive. So I was so excited to see it come up. Then I've got a couple of raspberries in these bags, these grow bags, because they're gonna go down where our deck is being built right now. So temporarily they're just gonna live up here. And in the 2 pots here in the middle are purple bush beans. And then beyond that, in between the hay bale and these beans is purple asparagus. So that's not up yet, but I'm excited to finally start getting asparagus. It takes 3 years before you can harvest them. So this will be the first year that the crowns are in the ground. So I'm hoping they all are successful. Just along this side of the backyard, we have a bank of rhododendrons, and they're all different colors. And this is the first one that opened up here. And then this one is just starting to maybe open up. And then it goes along down the line. And I will share a video with you when they're all open, because it's really fun to see them all in full bloom. But we also have this camellia, which will not be in bloom when the rhodies are. And then when the rhodies finally stop blooming, there's a climbing rose in the back here that takes over some color for the backyard on this side of the backyard. And then that's Jasmine's doghouse, and a little gate that goes down to our lower garden, which we will investigate in another video at another time. Pretty soon, actually, because my fairy garden goes down there, and I plan to put the fairy village back up in just another week or so. But on each side of the gate, this really bright green plant is a lilac, and you could see the panicles there. They're gonna open up pretty soon, and they just smell so beautiful. In with my asparagus, I also have some strawberries growing. Those are Seascape strawberries, and they're supposed to be really good for our climate. So this is a butterfly garden spiral that we built last year, and not a whole lot has come back up in it yet. I do have some salvia here in the middle that I left to see if it would sprout anything down on the roots, which it really did not. So I'll just probably be pulling that up and putting something else there. As a matter of fact, I'll do that anyways, because this salvia got about 5.5 feet tall, and it shaded out the majority of the rest of the garden, especially on this side where because the sun comes from the opposite direction, and so this side was really shaded last year. But we do have some milkweed coming back up, and I have some Indian feather over there. I have this cute little it was a little chair that's supposed to hold like a little decorative pot or something, but it actually works really well to keep those flowers in line, because they kind of just want to splay out everywhere. And then here you could see another rain barrel raised bed. So I just wanted to share the reference of how tall the raised beds are over here. They're at my elbow, which is really nice, and Spencer put these little sides on them, so I'm able to set a cup of coffee and some pruners and play on these raised beds comfortably without, you know, stressing my back at all. Another one is just a little bit lower, and we like to do things like plant some trailing nasturtiums over here and let them trail down. It causes like a little waterfall effect, and that's facing our living room window, and so then we get to see that kind of fun effect. This is a clematis that came with the property, and I just don't think it's in a very good spot. It always blooms way up there at the top, but it doesn't have any foliage down below. So and I found out the hard way that this is not one that you cut to the ground. It blooms on old wood, so it's kind of in sad shape. So I have to find a new place for that one, and something that will grow a little bit better there. This side of our house, it gets full sun for about 3 hours, but it doesn't get it for, you know, the whole day, or even the 6-hour time frame that most sun-loving plants really prefer to have. And then same with this one. This one is a clematis that you do cut down to the ground, and so it's about 6 inches tall, but it's like, it's buried in this carex right now, so it is about 6 inches tall. And I'll show that off to you when it's up and blooming. But that's basically it for our spring tour of the backyard and what we're growing. And we'll be adding a few more annual vegetables, but not much. Really just into the perennial vegetables myself. And I wanted to show you the structure that we've implemented in the last couple of months. We actually did all of that walkway and the raised bed expansions since March. So it's, you know, that's been a big change for this yard. It reduced our grass by half. You could see behind me that there's still a grass swath, and then over here was all grass, and so now that's reduced greatly. And I'm going to be planting in the bark Texas frog grass, which is a ground cover, and it blooms. The bees love it, and it stays really small and compact, and it takes really rough you know, handling, like the dogs can run on it and it's not going to tear it up. So that was really important to me when I was choosing ground covers. And my hope is that we'll also be able to start reducing the grass over here and planting that with the Texas frog grass, because the less perennial ryegrass I have, the happier I'm going to be. Partially because I'm allergic to it. Big part of it is because I can't walk on it barefoot, because I'm very allergic to it as far as touching it. And then, but it also makes me sneeze when it's blooming, so it's not fun either. And then it's a lot of labor, just mowing and everything like that. We've reduced our grass a whole lot. My husband's really happy because there's not much to mow, but I'd still like there to be even less. I think I'm going to end this now, and I will see you in the next video. If you liked this video and you want to watch more, you can always find me on YouTube at Garden Solutions, and subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell so you get notified when I post new videos, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Bye!